Hello online family, welcome to another video of the channel and I hope you all are doing absolutely fine. The goal is to make America even more greater. If you have any questions, any concerns, leave them in the comment section. It's a lot to cover and we'll be covering everything that has happened. If not everything, most of the things which have happened in the US in last 12 hours. So let's get started. But before moving further, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So let's get started. So first we'll start with some memes here. So this is a meme where Donald Trump. I'll cover this news. They all are present in Cathedral in Notre Dame. And Donald Trump is trying to take money out of the Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, the money the dollars which Biden gave him. So it's a good way to get the money back. I think so. Trump is a great president, no doubt. Oh, so here we go. Who is worse than a Democrat? No one. Okay, so these were a little bit of memes. Oh, Donald Trump dancing. Oh, this one. As I've already told you guys, and many times I've also said this: don't drink, guys. Don't do drugs. Don't drink. Don't smoke cigarettes. It's the worst thing you can do to yourself. There are so many ways. There are so many ways to get rid of depression, anxiety, and all that stuff. So I would just say, you guys, don't drink. Please don't drink. You are harming yourself. There is no benefit of being unconscious. You can only achieve or get out of depression once once you attain a level of consciousness and that level of spirituality. That is only when you can get out of your depression and anxiety. So don't smoke and don't drink. Don't do injustice to yourself. Let's see what Trump says here.
No. You don't drink yourself.
No.
You've talked about how devastating drinking can be.
Yeah.
How concerned are you that the person who you picked for this top job at the Defense Department, at least according to those who've worked with him, has struggled with drinking?
But I've spoken to people that know him very well, and they say he does not have a drinking problem.
Joining me now is Angelo.
So yeah, and I think Trump is also against drinking and smoking, because I heard him once saying he was telling his son that, hey, don't smoke, don't drink, just don't do these things. And he was also saying no tattoos. And obviously, yes, tattoos. I was reading a news few days ago that people who had tattoos went to a shop to get some tattoos, and they ended up having AIDS. So I would say just don't do this stuff. It's really it's hazardous and it's harmful to your own body. So yeah, just don't do it. Now let's go with other meme channels. I'm first trying to cover some memes before getting into some really great newses. So let's cover some memes. So here Elon Musk. Elon Musk is in France, in Paris right now. Yeah, in France, Paris right now. So they are there at Cathedral's opening. And here is Elon Musk with his youngest son. Oh, Elon, what did you get done this week? That's funny. Okay, here Elon Musk. So here this shows that Elon Musk is arriving at Notre Dame. Here he is. Okay, so now let's get back into the political details. Yeah, we have some memes more. I have some more memes to show you guys, and I'll cover those memes once we are done with some really serious news. So this news is Alvin. So Alvin is the attorney trying to strong arm Daniel Penny jury into deciding a negligent homicide, Andy McCarthy. Okay, so here they are saying that what he did, what Daniel did was right, and what he did was to save the people from that mentally ill man. And I think it falls under under the roof of self-defense. So let's see what these people are saying. So let's see what this video says.
If you walk by the color
So there's
purple.
some ads coming up.
What's going on around here?
Yeah, and they were only saying that, and they were saying that the people, his attorney was
Breaking news for you in the Daniel Penn.
his attorney continually was saying that this is completely baseless. All the allegations are baseless, and he saved people actually from that mentally ill man. So this is what his attorney is saying. uh I mean, if it comes under the banner of self-defense, then definitely I support Daniel Penny, and the judiciary or the police has not found anything against him. It is just an act of self-defense. So if it's an act of self-defense, I think he not only saved his life, but he saved the life of other people as well. So I think he should not be considered guilty. Instead, they should leave him, I think so. But let's see what this report says.
Any trial, another message has been sent forward to this judge that says that the jury is not able to reach a verdict on the top charge, second-degree manslaughter. Andy McCarthy is still with us, former assistant U.S. attorney and Fox News contributor. Andy, your reaction to this news?
Well, it still is not clarifying, Martha, because it matters why the jury can't reach a verdict. Basically, what their instructions are is if they accept Penny's justification defense, that's the end of the case. So in other words, if what they found is that Bragg could not prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the justification defense was negated, then that's it. The case is over. If they rejected the justification defense, but they can't resolve the case for some other reason, then that would be a reason to move on to count two. Because, for example, if they couldn't find recklessness beyond a reasonable doubt, that doesn't discount the possibility that they could find negligence, which is the second count. So I think we're going to have a lot more struggle back and forth between the two sides, because they were hoping for a clarifying verdict on count one in order to know whether the case was over or whether they could move on to the second count.
Exactly. So the prosecution, the burden on the prosecution is to prove that Daniel Penny was not justified in taking the action that he took on that subway. But if the jury finds that they can't agree, they can't come to a unanimous verdict on whether or not Penny was justified to spring into action and to put him in a chokehold, that would make the whole thing fall apart, correct? So give us an example or a scenario, and and add whatever you're about to say, but I just want to get this in, where it would become necessary to keep that second negligence count relevant in terms of their deliberations, Andy.
If they rejected the justification, Martha, but they found that he wasn't reckless. Now, recklessness is a very high standard. It requires finding that he perceived a risk of death and then wantonly took actions that totally disregarded it. Whereas negligence means you didn't perceive a risk of death, but you acted in a way that a reasonable person might not have under the circumstances. So they're very different conclusions. If that's what it is, then the lack of recklessness doesn't discount the possibility of negligence. Whereas if he had justification, then he had it for both counts and the case has to be over. The one thing I was going to add is the thing I'm concerned about is that the prosecution, Bragg's New York DA's office, Manhattan DA's office, what they may try to do is get the judge to dismiss the recklessness count, the manslaughter count, count one, and on that basis have the jury go in and resolve count two. I think that would be terribly unfair given the way the case was tried, but that is something they may try to do.
Well, you always said, Andy, that you felt that the reason that Bragg brought that second charge of negligence was so that this jury would have something to fall back on in his intent to make sure that there was something that they could find Daniel Penny guilty of, right?
That's exactly right. And I think, unfortunately, the strategy is working the way it's designed to work. So You have some jurors who are obviously ready to find him guilty of recklessness, which I find mind-boggling because I don't see how that's supported by the evidence in this case. But that's designed to make the other jurors feel like, well, maybe if we convict him on negligence, but we acquit him on recklessness, we're at least being fair and we're trying to, reach a middle ground with our, opposing jurors. That's what I think Bragg has tried to set up, and it may be working.
But if they cannot reach consensus on whether or not he was justified to go into action in this, then it sounds.
So just to add some things to this entire video, that person's name was Neely, and that person was high on drugs. So he was high on drugs, he was mentally ill, and in New York's subway, where this event actually took place, he was trying to harm people. So then this veteran, Daniel Penny, he came up and and in his try and he tried to save people from him. And when they are saying recklessness, it's recklessness or negligence. He was trying to save himself and other people. And during what I've already told you guys, and during that complete fight and that complete action scene, while he was trying to save himself and other people, he that person who was mentally ill eventually died. And negligence simply means that, okay, he was negligence from Daniel Penny means that, so this term negligence in this case means that he was trying to do something. He was actually attacking on him, right? But his plan was not to kill that person. He just died because of the attack. Daniel didn't know that his attack would cause that person to die, but that person eventually died. So it's called negligence. So this is what this case
To me,
is
like
trying
there
to say.
was
And judge is not able to reach any kind of verdict. Whereas Alvin Bragg, who's the attorney of Daniel Penny, he's saying that, hey, this is completely negligence, and my and my client was trying to save other people. And I also read some tweets from some other people like Megan McCann. She said that, I don't think the left fully grasps how much they are radicalizing people. When a Marine who saved a bunch of people on subway from a violent person with mental illness, yelling someone is going to die today, is demonized. Daniel Penny did nothing wrong. And then he said something, you dash dash dash. Okay. So this is on his case. Again, judge haven't come to a verdict. We'll see how it goes. I think that this case would be done and dusted. I think so. That Daniel Penny won't won't face any charges, and this case will be done and dusted. I think so. But again, we have to see what happens. And today is Saturday, tomorrow is going to be Sunday. So on Monday, we'll see what's going to happen. Okay, next news. Oh my god, this is a threatening. Oh no, this is not the threatening news. Yeah. So this is my favorite news. Social media reacts to Trump dominating world leaders with Macron handshake during meeting in France. So let's first see this video, and after that I'll tell you guys what I think. But okay, we'll see this video afterwards. Before going into video, if we take a deep analysis of Trump's handshake, first he'll shake hand with a person, and while shaking hand with that person firmly, he'll pull that person, the arm of that person. Okay. Once he pull the arm of that person with force, that person will come close, and then after some time Trump will tap his hand. So this is basically showing that Trump is showing his dominance, his control, and trying to say, hey, if you'll not listen to me, I know ways by which you will listen to me. So I think this is what Trump is trying to justify, or trying to convey as a message through the handshake. So let's see what the video says. These ads. Okay. Before these ads come. Oh, I already made an account. Continue. I already made an account. I don't know why it's not. Let's see. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, because I already made an account and it was free, so it's on public domain. So we are all set. So someone said that Macron is going to need a hand massage after all that twisting and pulley Trump did to him. I think Trump is going to do this to every world leader. I don't know. I still can't understand why with that BRICS countries who are trying to make their own currency and do trade in their own currency. I think they're going to do trade through gold. I still don't understand why India is doing it. I mean, yes, I understand that's Russia and China, yes, but what made India think that they can do this? I mean, even Russia and China cannot think this, but still, with India, it was pretty surprising why Narendra Modi, who's Prime Minister of India, took this decision. But there are people who will give you wrong ideas, and I think same happened with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He there might be like people who gave him bad ideas, but Trump is giving him a good idea that hey, if you'll do this BRICS, I'll raise tariffs, and you have to find a new country to sell your products. I mean, American buyer is the most powerful buyer in this world. So yeah, let's see this video. Okay, guys, these ads suck. These ads don't make sense. Okay, here you go.
All right, taking it to Paris right now. We told you about the fact that they were meeting, and indeed they are. You recognize these three gentlemen, Donald Trump, Emmanuel Macron, Ukrainian President Zelensky. Let's listen in.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And it's reopening. So it's taking advantage of a particular moment in history. Dr. Jill Biden, the First Lady, is there to represent the US, and we are expecting the Prince of Wales to land in Paris imminently and hope that he will meet President-elect Trump and the First Lady.
All right, that's very diplomatically answered, I might point out. That's what makes you good at your job. So let me get your sense of where the world stands right now. It's been a bumpy ride for much of Europe. Donald Trump putting pressure on Europe right now to foot more of the bill or take a greater role, certainly among NATO members, when it comes to, for example, dealing with Ukraine. I don't know whether one could infer from that less on the United States and that we sort of bow out or trim our exposure there, but what do you think?
I think there's very much a long-term state of affairs that we have to look to, but in the short term, this is all about, to employ the President-elect's phrase, it's all about peace through strength. Let's get Ukraine in the strongest possible position so that when negotiations come, and these things always end with a negotiated settlement, when negotiations come, she's in the strongest possible position. And I think all our leaders, certainly our Prime Minister Keir Starmer, President Macron, the Germans, the Italians, the Poles, we all look forward to sitting down with President Zelensky and talking about what's going to happen in 2025.
Is it your sense of, I know you can't.
So when we are talking about President Zelensky, even now he is saying that we need peace. So that's, I would call it as Donald Trump effect. Donald Trump effect on world is immense. And I think with this approach, he can solve all the issues going on in the world right now. If any person who can put a full stop to all the wars going on in the world, it's Donald Trump, because of its dominant nature, his control, and his negotiation power. And if nothing of these things work, he'll just say, hey, we are going to take these steps to get our work done. So Trump has only two ways. First, he'll say it, that, okay, I'm saying this, please get it done. Okay, please do this for me. Okay. If that way doesn't work, Trump will use another way, which would be far more aggressive, and he'll make sure he gets that done. So you're getting what I'm trying to say. First, he'll try to get things done through negotiation, through word of mouth, be nice, and say, hey, we need to get this done. But if people don't listen to him, he has a different way. He has a different approach to get the things done. And I think in today's meeting, I think he was very crystal clear with Macron and Zelensky that, hey, this is what we need to do. And even Elon Musk was with him on his trip. So Very surprising that where is Vivek Ramaswamy right now? I mean, he's not in news, so I don't know where he is, but let's see where he is. Okay, coming back to this again. Although I discussed some points with you, United Healthcare CEO assassination. Here are some um, here are some pieces of evidence that killer left behind. So this just simply means that there are some sort of evidences which police will use to get to that person, and I'm not sure if these evidences are not um, are not to distract the police. That's the main question. Like, are these evidences authentic, or are these evidences there just to derail the police from investigation? Because if somebody if somebody um, came from an other state to kill a CEO, why do you think he'll be in front of camera when he knows, oh, the camera is in front of me, I should take my mask out and start flirting with the woman? So yeah, I think if he was doing this, he's really stupid. But let's see what are the pieces of evidences. So the first evidence is a backpack discarded in Central Park. New York Police Department investigators found a backpack in Central Park West on Friday that they believe belonged to suspect who killed Thompson. So Thompson is basically CEO of United Healthcare. A law enforcement source told Fox News Digital it will be taken to a lab in Queens for forensic testing. Okay. Retired FBI agent Scott explained the backpack will undergo trace evidence processing. So so the question is that if the backpack had some sort of fingerprints, how will that be helpful? I mean, the fingerprints or DNA will only be helpful if that person has already committed a crime and is part of the database which New York Police Department has. Or if he's an immigrant, then might immigration might have his fingerprints and all his information. But if he was born here and if everything was done in the United States, and he haven't been convicted before, then I think this is of no use, and I'm very sure he would not leave any important document in the backpack. This evidence is to derail the investigation, according to me. I think so, that backpack and all that stuff, it's just to derail the investigation, but we'll see how the things go. So number 2, a water bottle dropped at the scene. After ambushing Thompson outside the Hilton Midtown at 57th Street and 6th Avenue, the gunman took off down an alleyway. Investigators are now testing a water bottle they believed he dropped there for DNA evidence. Again, yes, DNA evidence, fingerprints, I'm all for it, but you need to have something to match that DNA evidence to, right? Uh, if you don't have his DNA or his fingerprints already in the database, then these are of no use. These can only help if there is some sort of data already present, or if they catch that person who killed the CEO and then use his DNA to match with this. Yes, then in that case, definitely yes. But other than that, I don't think so it's of any use. But it would take some time. Even genetic testing and all these DNA sequencing, this takes time. So we'll see how the things go. Oh, a discarded cell phone. Still, I'm not sure why a person who's there to kill someone will discard his phone. I mean, you can use other phones instead of like iPhone or using these smartphones. You can use those old phones, and using those old phones, still nobody will be able to track you through GPS or anything. Still not sure why this person used a cell phone and then discarded that cell phone. And I'm and we don't have any evidence if that cell phone was even authentic. And secondly, like, with authentic means that that person who killed this phone was his. They don't have any evidence. He might have stolen this cell phone from someone else. There is a possibility of that as well. And I again think that this kind of cell phone or bag and all that stuff, it's just to derail or detrack the investigation. So what the killer might be thinking, hey, I can leave some sort of evidences, and after I leave these evidences, police will get involved in tracing those evidences and getting information regarding those evidences, and by that time they will be done with getting all the information about these evidences. I'll be out of United States or out of states or out somewhere. So I think these all are tactics to derail the investigation. This is what I think. Again, police knows better. It was just my point of view. Okay, number 4 is shell casings with a message. Three shell casings with the word deny, dispose, and delay, similar to popular phrase within the healthcare industry. Delay, deny, defend, were left behind at the scene. Okay, these casings could be, okay, they are using these for the DNA evidence. Okay, and I mean, look, if somebody is killing a CEO of a company, then there would be a motive. I mean, I don't think so there is um there is any this evidence could even be used to trace the killer. I mean, yes, they have this saying, which is a popular saying in the world of healthcare industry, but does it mean that other CEOs are also at disadvantage, or other CEOs life is at risk? Is it is it this that person is trying to indicate to, that hey, I'm going to go behind other CEOs as well in the healthcare industry because they are raising prices of drugs? So is this is it this message that person is trying to convey? This is the only thing which I get through this casings, because uh, nothing else can be found, or nothing else can be um, identified or comes to my mind through these messages. But police knows better. Let's move further. Okay, so he was trying to flirt with a woman, with the receptionist. So that was really surprising to me, that he has come here to kill someone, and he was drinking coffee, riding bike, and flirting with someone. I mean, he's completely changing the definition of a killer. In movies, we usually say that killers are those tough guys who just go and kill someone, shoot someone in head, and that's it. But this boy will go to that place 10 days ago, use his fake identity, flirt with the woman who's a receptionist, and then have coffee, visit that place, enjoy in that area, and then finally kill someone and leave some evidences, leave his backpack, leave some evidences, and go away. And it's been fourth day, still police haven't hasn't been very successful in finding the real culprit. So okay, then they have like these CCTV cameras, and these CCTV cameras unfortunately show nothing. Yeah, so again, long articles, a lot of work done, but still nothing found. And as I've already mentioned, this is just a way, these all evidences, I think so, are just a way to derail investigation, nothing special. And if that person left a message, then I think that other healthcare CEOs should also try their level best and enhance their securities. If this shell casings with message is real, then yeah, I think the other healthcare CEOs should also increase their security and don't trust anyone. Don't trust anyone. Yeah, but we will see how the things go. Okay, next. FBI warns text between Android and iPhone users post cyber security. Okay, so now FBI is saying that there is a cyber security risk to Android and iPhone users. Okay. Official says that Officials say the cyber breach is ongoing and it may take time to fully root out the bad actors from telecom systems. Let's watch this video and then talk about it.
There are
Okay,
three simple
okay.
changes I tell all of my arthritis patients to make.
These
Number
ads
one,
are
you have to
very
start
bad.
drinking.
Let's start.
Wall Street Journal reported that China-linked hackers have breached US internet providers. This is something called the Salt Typhoon CyberAttack. Florida Congressman Carlos Jimenez is joining me now. You just introduced legislation to combat China. How are you going to stop these cyber attacks from China?
Well, you're not going to stop them, but we need to deter them as much as possible. We need to detect them as much as possible. And then we also have to have some offensive capability so that when they do attack us, that we have a way to get back at them. But we passed legislation that created an interagency task force of all U.S. agencies headed by CISA in order to combat and develop strategies to make us more resilient and more resistive to these types of cyber attacks.
But I take it that we are cyber attacking them, are we not?
Well, we should be. Yeah. I mean, it's tit for tat, and so. But I think that we don't do the same. We're not as offensive as they are. They're after our corporations, et cetera. It's illegal, so therefore, when we do it, they may be deemed as not doing the right thing. I am not sure that we're doing the same thing to them to the same.
So, what does this encryption and encrypted messages means? Okay, so from iPhone to iPhone, the messages are encrypted. Okay, now what that means that there are layers to those messages, and a hacker cannot hack them because there are a lot of layers to those messages. And same goes for Android to Android. But if someone is using an iPhone and I am using an Android, those messages are not encrypted. Therefore, those messages are at a big risk of being hacked. So this is what it means. So if you are an iPhone user and you are texting an Android user, then yeah, that's a potential risk. Then you are at a high risk of a cyber attack. And I think China should not do it. And I think this is the reason why American government want TikTok to be an American company and want Chinese to sell this to an American company. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Yeah, and it's definitely negative for the business, for TikTok business and other software businesses, other Chinese software businesses operating in the US, because again, US is the biggest market. The US buyer is the most powerful buyer. And if you are making $30,000, you are in top 1% of the world. Your income is in top 1% of the world. So $30,000, even a McDonald's worker working in the US is making this much money. So $30,000, if you are making $30,000, you are in top 1%. Okay. Breathtaking speed, Trump's Paris trip marks return to global stage as leaders turn the page on Biden. I mean, yeah, this became the news right now that they're turning the page on Biden. I think even from last 4 years, I haven't seen Biden doing anything. So yeah, now Trump is getting back to the business and he's talking to people, and he even said to Justin Trudeau that Canada can be the 51st state of United States of America. And I think it's not a bad idea, because people living in Canada then will be Americans. So who knows? Okay. We want to first we can see the video, and then we can talk about it.
I want to go to Peter Ducey's in West Palm Beach, Florida, not so much to address what was going on in South Korea today, but world leaders trying to woo Donald Trump in the case of France's leader, inviting him there this weekend to see for himself the Notre Dame reconstruction and revival. Peter, what's the latest?
Neil, the latest is we're hearing that the president-elect is trying out some new material on at least one of the world leaders who is visiting him down here. He joked to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau that if Canada and their economy cannot survive He says ripping off the United States to the tune of $100 billion a year, the trade deficit, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could be its governor.
Tariffs are a masterful soft power. Sometimes President Trump put them into place. Sometimes they ended up being used to get real results. And that's what we're seeing right now.
The president-elect's first foreign trip since the election will be to G7.
So according to Donald Trump, what he said to Justice Trudeau, hey, Justin Trudeau, that hey, the drugs are coming through your country, and the undocumented people are also coming through your country. I don't want to solve this issue. I want you to solve this issue. And the trade between Canada and America is also being affected. So I want you to solve these issues. If you're not able to solve these issues, I'll raise tariffs. I would raise tariffs by 25% on your products. Or what we can do is that Canada can become the 51st state of United States of America, and you can be governor of that state. And I think it's a very good idea. I'm totally in support of this idea. I mean, even if it's not the state, still the Canadian people are still Canadian government is following United States. So there will be no harm if Canada becomes part of United States. I mean, it's just a point of view. And here you can see the pictures that that Emmanuel Macron was meeting with President Donald Trump, and he's trying to have good relationships with US. I think it's a very good move by Macron that even Trump is not in the office as of right now, but still Emmanuel Macron is trying his level best to have good relations, and by the start of new year maybe come up with new programs and solve all the issues which Trump had with Macron. I think it's a really good way to be in the good books of Donald Trump. Plus, Emmanuel Macron has not been as strong of a leader among those European countries, and I think this what we can say his this idea of meeting Trump definitely will make people think that hey, this is a good move by our president. So I think it's really a good idea. I think he did a good job. And here comes Trudeau. So he already said Trudeau. I've already told you guys what he said Trudeau. I myself started laughing when I read this news. Further, Trump also said Trump has also weighed in recently on a number of international conflicts. In the volatile Middle East, the president-elect warned this week in a social media post that there would be all hell to pay if Hamas does not release all the hostages held in Gaza before. So here now he is saying that, hey, Hamas, you have to leave all the people, all the hostages that have been held in Gaza. First thing this, and secondly, when President Donald Trump got elected, even Hamas was asking that, hey, we need peace. Even now, Hamas was talking about peace, Russia was talking about peace, and Ukraine was talking about peace. So everyone was talking about peace after Trump became the president of United States of America, because they know that this guy, he knows how to get things done. If you listen to him, well and good. Otherwise, he'll take his route. I mean, either way, it's always Trump's way. So this is what Trump has been doing so far. Okay, while the members of Biden White House would likely disagree with such sentiments, especially after the current administration played a large role in harming out the ceasefire that halted fighting in Lebanon between Israel and Hezbollah, it is undeniable that world leaders are already started to engaging directly with incoming president and administration. So now Hezbollah also wants that everything goes to peace. This is what power this president Donald Trump has, that he is trying to make everyone go back to rest and peace. I think that's the best thing about Donald Trump. I mean, he's saying, hey, go to peace, otherwise you will be rest in peace. That's good. Okay, so this was done with this news. Further, so this Syrian civil war, it's going on in Syria, and Trump says that we don't want to be part of this war because it's not our war. Although Obama said that yes, we will be part of this war, and if anything goes wrong, we will intervene. But now Donald Trump is saying, hey, we are not going to intervene in this because it's not our war. Let them deal with it. And I think yes, it's not our war. We should stay away from this war. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel because your subscription really helps. If you have any questions, any concerns, any feedbacks, leave them in the comment section. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, so now let's watch some memes. Meme time. Let's see what we have. A fine is a tax for doing wrong. A tax is a fine for doing well. Guys, I am against these a lot of taxes. Okay, first we have an income tax. Yes, taxes doesn't have income tax, so people in taxes, shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing. If you guys don't want to pay tax on your income, go to taxes. You'll receive your entire income. So first one person pay income tax, then there's property tax, then if you buy a car, there is tax on car. When you go to a gas station, get gas, there is tax on gas. When you buy something from Walmart or any store, there is tax on that. I think there is a property tax. When you go to hospital, there is that tax. So everything is tax. Now I can't understand what does this property tax means. Yes, once we buy a house, we pay some XYZ tax when we are buying that house. But why are we paying property tax after every year, or after every, I think it's after every year. Why are we paying property tax after every year? What's the reason behind this property tax? Let's say if somebody makes a house in a rural area, there is a population gathering in that area, there's a community, and the businesses follow. Starbucks comes, Walmart comes, Stater Brother comes, Jack in the Box comes, Pizza Hut comes, Domino's comes. Okay, so in this way, that person who's living in this rural area, in this underdeveloped area, that person is basically giving business to those new brands which are coming into that underdeveloped area. Now, what's the point? What's the point of having income tax? There is no point of this income tax thing, because let's say if these stores come here and that person goes to buy these stores, he'll eventually pay the tax on what he's buying through those stores, right? Again, he's already paying tax. If you go to Starbucks, he'll be already paying tax. Then what's the point of the property tax? Instead, those big brands should give some sort of leverage or some sort of compensation to the people who are living in this underserved area, or even the government should pay something to the people who are living in underdeveloped areas. I don't see a point of having these property taxes and these a lot of taxes. Again, government knows better, and the people who are more into economics knows better. But I think some taxes are just useless, literally useless. Okay, there is Trump.
Really cheap, and that's the magic of this thing. But there's no doubt in the next 5 years we can, we just need to mess around. There's a lot of lipid nanoparticles, and some are very self-assembly, and some are very self-assembly.
This is nano construction. I don't even begin to understand how far ahead of where we thought our technology was.
Making the mRNA is really easy and really cheap, and that's the magic of this thing. But there's no doubt in the next 5 years we can, we just need to mess around. There's a lot of lipid nanoparticles, and some are very self-assembly.
Okay.
And some are very
So Bill Gates is saying that he can make an mRNA. Okay. We just need to play around with some lipid particles. Okay. So with playing with lipid particles, he can make an mRNA. Interesting. So guys, if you don't know what an mRNA is, let me explain you guys what an mRNA is. mRNA is basically, it's a messenger RNA, and through messenger RNA, you make proteins. So this is mRNA. It's basically used to make proteins. In simple words. Yeah. Now let's get to our other news. We have some really good newses to cover. So oh, so this FBI is now offering $50,000 reward. Okay, so first they started with $10,000. Almost, I think, 3 days ago they were saying we'll give $10,000, and now they're saying we will give $50,000 reward. This means that the detectives and the police officers haven't been that successful in finding the person, I think so, because that might be the reason they are increasing the price of the reward. Yeah, that is the only reason, I think so, they're increasing the price of the reward. But who knows? So this Tyler Perry Studios, this Tyler Perry, he's an actor. So his studios president, Steve, he just died at the age of 63 due to the plane crash. Really sad news. May his soul rest in peace. And yeah, may his soul rest in peace. All sympathy and all condolences with his family. And I must say, Steve really had a great smile. Definitely had a great smile. So yeah. So guys, this was all for today. See you in the next video. If you have any questions, any concerns, leave them in the comment section. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Tata.